don't know the beginning, then you can't understand the end of it. It would be like me telling you a story about how I got home late one night last week, and I was worn out. Do you understand the story? You don't know where I went, don't know what I done, don't know how long I was there, don't know who I seen, whether I was working or on vacation or what was going on. So we need to start in the beginning. And in Timothy 2, on the bookmark, Timothy 2:15 says, "Study to show yourself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." Since there's not very many here, and I know all of you, somebody tell me what dividing the word of truth means. And I want to read that to you out of the New American Standard also. Second Timothy 2:15 out of the New American Standard. "Be diligent to present yourself approved to God as a workman who does not need to be ashamed, accurately handling the word of truth." That's why I use King James. I used to use the New American Standard. Looked at New Living Translations and all of them, but I think they lose something in the word. You know, it says rightly handling instead of rightly dividing. Do you see a difference in that?
That's what this ESV says.
Rightly, okay. Handling, yeah. Anybody see any difference in it?
Well, when I think of handling something, I think of taking care of it. And I think what that means to me is that you should study it and make sure you're interpreting it, or it's not talking about math either.
Right.
So, but it's not a common way to use that word, I don't think. I mean, we don't use it that way now in our common English.
Yeah.
English that we use every day.
Yeah. And on the other side of your bookmark is a quote from Miles Coverdale. Anybody ever heard of him? He was an English writer and studied the Bible and preached and stuff. But anyhow, he says, "It shall greatly help you to understand Scripture if you mark not only what is spoken or written, but ask of whom and to whom, with what words, at what time, where, to what intent, with what circumstances, considering what goes before and what comes after." I remember in grade school, the teacher talked about reading a story, and she said, "Always ask where, when, what, and who." That's basically what he says. But I would add to that, consider what it does not say, because we all have misquoted at some point in time. We've all added to, or we've been taught wrong. And I know several years ago, Kelly said, if you'll teach the first 10 chapters of Genesis, I'll do the rest of it. And I'd never studied Genesis before. That was 12 or 15 years ago. Not actually studied, I've read it. There's a lot of difference in reading and studying. But I was never so shocked in all my life how wrong I've been taught Genesis. And so that's what I want us to do, is look at Scripture for what it says. Don't add to it, don't take away from it. But just study it for what it says. And 1 Timothy 2:15 Old Testament, New Testament. Am I talking loud enough?
Slipped out of my ear.
Okay, okay. If I get too quiet, throw something at me or holler or something. Anyhow, we need to look at the divisions in the Bible. There's a lot of other divisions